Thermal Soundwave.
It's Thermal Soundwaves, the natural alternative to fast food radio. We are here, C.Truth. Right about this time, we have guests that we bring into the program to talk to us a little bit about their world and what's going on with them and how things are going down. And this evening, we have none other than Miss YaYa Bey, writer, singer extraordinaire. And I understand she does a little something on the grill in the kitchen as well. We're going to find out, what's going on with her and all about what's happening in her world. You know what I mean? That's what it is, no doubt. Welcome. Okay, so let's start with the education aspect of things and just the background there. What was some of the things that you got, or what was the experience like? Because I understand you were a teacher at some point, and you were your art curator as well.
Yeah. What was teaching like? Teaching is hard work. Kids, you never know like what you're gonna get with kids. Like kids are their own, people. So they come into the classroom with their own personalities. Some personalities you mesh with, some personalities you don't mesh with. You got to be gentle and kind and patient with them regardless. Some kids are going to be receptive to you. Some kids don't care what you're talking about. They're just there because they have to be. It's a mixed bag, and you got to have a lot of compassion to be a teacher, a lot of patience to be a teacher, and you got to listen just as much as you talk. Like, think. There's a whole idea that kids are seen and not heard. But, that's really, really bogus and just a way to disempower young people. Like, young people have something to teach you, too. So when you're in the classroom, you got to learn to listen. And sometimes it's frustrating because kids also have so much more energy than you do. And sometimes, especially, depending on the age group. And I've taught everything from kindergarten to high school. It's hard sometimes, and sometimes it's really rewarding, and sometimes you get kids that are really into what you are teaching and are asking questions that you didn't think they'd ask. And some kids are coming in there and they're really, really gifted and impressive, and it's a mixed bag. Because kids are people, and people are, you never know what you'll get with people. But either way, you have to be compassionate and patient, and you have to exercise kindness in a way that maybe you don't usually with adults.
No question. Now, on the art side, was art something, and art in the sense of the actual visual drawings and things like that, was that something you were into, or something that you picked up along the way? Do you do artwork yourself? Like, do you draw? Do you paint?
I was making collage work, really, as I guess a little bit more than a hobby, but mostly a hobby. But I was curating art shows, and I guess it kind of led me to make my own work. But I was mostly curating, and it was cool, Like, I hope to do it again someday. I hope to do it again someday.
It's Thermal Soundwaves. We're talking to YaYa Bey here with us on the program. It's C.Truth here with you. What with your latest work, Remember Your North Star, what are some of the subject matter that you touch upon on this piece of work?
Misogyny, really, and navigating it outside of myself, internalized misogyny, navigating it, and what it means for how I am loved, how I love myself, how I love others, how it's impacted me.
Gotcha. And what's some of the biggest things that you want somebody to get who's actually listening to this, as far as just something for them to grow with, listening to Remember North Star?
I don't know that I've really thought about like what I want people to walk away with, because I think like, art is subjective, and I can tell you all day long like what this song is about, what that song is about, but like when you hear it, you hear it through your experiences, through your lens, so I can't really dictate what you walk away from it with. I just know I made an album about how misogyny impacts the way I'm loved and how I navigate love. And but you could hear it and hear all kinds of like you could hear something totally different, and that's valid because like whatever experience you have with the work is like the experience that you have with it.
Well, what are some of the things or some of the ways that misogyny has shaped with the way that you have an look on things?
Well, it's affected the way that I'm seen in the world, and it's affected, I mean, for a long time, even my relationships with other women, it's like women have internalized misogyny, and it's impacted how safe I feel in the world. Just how I'm viewed and how I'm cared for, and how I'm able to care for other people. And yeah, that's such a loaded because it's just such a loaded.
Yeah, it's heavy. So do you feel safe now? Like how do you navigate things now? Like in a better place, like safer as far as like how you see things?
I mean, it depends. I think that I'm safer with myself because I've addressed my own misogyny. But misogyny still exists in the world. There's still like a mistreatment of women, a hatred of women, the need to control women, like all of that still exists. So I don't know, and there's nothing I can do about that. It's like racism; it's not going anywhere. So I don't know that I feel safer in the world, but I feel safer with myself. I think I'm a better friend to myself, but what goes on in the world, like I can't necessarily change that.
Gotcha. It's Thermal Soundwaves. We're talking to artist YaYa Bey here with us on the program. I ask this a lot with just people, everybody, not just artists, but just everybody, like what they learned from the pandemic, and I ask you the same thing.
What did I learn from the pandemic? Patience. Learned how to have patience. There was a lot of waiting for a lot of things during the pandemic. Preparation, staying ready so I don't have to get ready. And I mean, I guess I learned more about myself. I learned a lot about myself and what I'm made of. It was challenging, and I had to really like step up.
But what do you have fun with? Like what are some of the things just outside of music that you do that you just enjoy to the max? It's just a happy place.
I cook a lot. I like to cook.
What's your best dish?
What's my best dish?
The thing that's like people rave about, like their favorites, or it could be a couple.
I make really good biscuits. A couple different kinds of biscuits. People really like my biscuits. I make a sweet potato cheesecake that people really like. And I'm good at fish. I have like a salt baked salmon that people like.
I think I saw a posting on your IG of a dill biscuit or something like that you make.
Yeah, it's a garlic dill biscuit.
I've never had that. How does it taste? Like, is that dill? Like, how does that combination taste? Like, I'm curious.
I think when people think about dill, they think about pickles, but mostly when you're tasting pickles, pickles is like a fermented food. So it isn't really the dill that's the star of the show. Dill on its own is like, it's light. It's a light taste. And it goes really well with the garlic. It's like a dill garlic butter kind of thing. So if you just think about like a garlicky, buttery biscuit, and the dill isn't even really the star of the show with the biscuit either. It's mostly the garlic, but there's dill. There's a hint of dill in there. It's actually really, really good. Just think of like a fluffy, garlicky, buttery biscuit.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely imagine that and see that.
Yeah, dill is a very different thing outside of a pickle. It's dill tastes really good on fish. It tastes really good in salads and stuff too, but it's a savory kind of flavor.
Sure. Did you ever think of or want to do like a cooking show or like appear on a cooking show just like as a guest or have your own?
Maybe not my own, but as a guest, that sounds cool.
Sure. And if you do watch the cooking shows, like what's like one of your favorites out there?
There was a show on Netflix called Cooking with Cannabis, and Kelis was a host on that show. And that was really cool. I'm a big Kelis fan too, so that was like cool to see.
Gotcha. What do you like about Kelis the most?
I think that she's just been a trendsetter throughout the years, especially in my childhood. She's iconic, really. Like an alternative Black girl, a fashion icon. She has really good music too. Just Kelis is just cool. She's always just been like, oh wow, that's what you're doing. That's cool. She's always doing something cool, like consistently.
Gotcha. And as far as other people that you're into that you dig, outside of Kelis, who are some of the other people?
I like Mary J. Blige a lot. People that I dig outside of Kelis. Well, I like a lot of old-ish, like Donny Hathaway is my favorite. And I love Frankie Beverly. And who else do I don't know. Lots of people. I like Sarah Vaughan. I was just listening to some Sarah Vaughan with my dad the other day.
Well, I think all the people that you're naming, it speaks to the variety that you have in your music, from soul to reggae to jazz, hip hop, Afrobeat, just all over the globe. And I think that makes for a great piece.
Oh, thank you.
One of my favorites is All Right. I think that's my favorite joint off your album.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it wasn't one of the first songs I made. Like I went to DC for like 2 months to make like the bones of the album, and then I made the rest of it when I got back. But it was the first song I made when I got back.
Now, your dad, Granddaddy IU, said that you couldn't sing, and then you switched over into like writing and things like that. Like, how does he feel now, like when he hears all of your work and your projects when you are actually singing?
I mean, I think he's proud. It's an awkward thing. Like we kind of don't talk about that part because it's kind of awkward to talk about. But I know he's proud of me.
Gotcha. And when people come to see a YaYa Bey show, what can they expect?
Oh man, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. That's the most honest.
And going back to the cooking, have you ever cooked with cannabis yourself?
Oh yeah, I have.
And what kind of dish did you make with that?
Probably something generic like cookies or brownies or some sort of baked good. I don't know that I've ever like made anything savory. I've baked with cannabis. I don't know that I've cooked, but I've baked with it, made cookies and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Most definitely. We've been talking to YaYa Bey, artist, cook, writer extraordinaire here with us on the program. Where can people find out and get your music and things like that? Of course, it's streaming everywhere, but where can people like follow up with you, like on your socials and stuff like that?
Well, I'm on Bandcamp. You can buy a vinyl there. And then I'm on Instagram. You can just, look me up, YaYa Bey. I'll pop up. Instagram, Twitter. That's pretty much it. And then, Bandcamp. You can get a vinyl there.
Now, it sounds like you're a little bit more partial to vinyl. Do you kind of like that sound a little bit better, or is it just something that you're into?
I mean, vinyls are just cool, I guess. I'm not partial to. I mean, it's a cool thing to have a vinyl.
Gotcha. Well, we want to thank you for taking time out to talk with us here on the program, Thermal Soundwaves. It's YaYa Bey. Make sure you check out her latest. It's called Remember Your North Star, the brightest star in the sky, especially at night when you're looking up there. So don't forget to remember yours. It's YaYa Bey. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
It's Thermal Soundwaves, a natural alternative to fast food radio. Thermal Soundwave.